They see the surface, but they don't know the war. Built from the struggle, standing on my own. Riders for life. I don't care what people think of me. They don't fight my battles, can't you see? Living through struggles, carrying my dreams. Opinions change, but I stay true to me. Let the shadows whisper while I build my throne. They talk in crowds, but I conquer alone. A silent empire rising out of the cold. The deepest stories are the ones left untold. Riders for life, we turn the pain into gold. Anyone can talk, but talk is cheap. It doesn't build or create, just words on repeat. I'm focused on winning, on making it right. Their judgments fade in the bright of my light. Let's cut the fake sympathy, I know exactly who you are. You smiled to my face while praying I wouldn't make it this far. You wanted me buried under the dirt and the noise, but I am the weapon and you're just playing with toys. No filter, no apologies, I'm claiming what is mine. Go ahead and watch me cross the finish line. I walk my path with confidence and grace. Their whispers fade into the empty space. I hold my head high, unapologetically free, for their opinions hold no power over me. Let the shadows whisper while I build my throne. They talk in crowds, but I conquer alone. A silent empire rising out of the cold. The deepest stories are the ones left untold. Riders for life, we turn the pain into gold. I'm the architect of my own fate. No room for doubt or self-hate, with resilience as my shield and strength as my guide. I'll keep pushing forward with unwavering pride. Look at the wreckage, look at the crown. Try all you want, you can't tear me down. I am the earthquake, the venom, the flood. I built this empire with sweat and with blood. No mercy, no warning, I'm breaking the scale. I am the hurricane, you're just a gale. Screaming till the ground cracks open and shakes. Bow down to the monster your ignorance made. Let the shadows whisper while I build my throne. They talk in crowds, but I conquer alone. A silent empire rising out of the cold. The deepest stories are the ones left untold. Riders for life, we turn the pain into gold. No more whispers, no more empty noise. Just the architect standing in the light. Riders for life, and that's on everything. North Philly, baby. Riders for life. Yeah, we locking it in. Riders for life. Listen close to the pages turning. Government for the people, we stand tall by the people. We answer the call for the people. United, we fall. Shall not perish from this earth at all. Power to the citizens, that's our creed. Together we rise, fulfill our need. In unity and justice we succeed. The government of the people is what we need. No tyranny or corruption in our land. We see the truth behind the smoke. machine. The heavy pages turn, the space between. A quiet fire that they cannot burn, waiting on the tables of the world to turn. They sign the papers while the people bleed. They feed the system and ignore the need. The ink is dry but the blood is fresh and cold. We tired of buying every lie that we've been told. Hand in hand, we fight for what's right. Take a stand for the people, by the people is our brand. Democracy thrives in every heart. Our voices rise to tear apart any threat that's tearing us apart. Government of the people shall never depart. We see the truth behind the smoke machine. The heavy pages turn, the space between. A quiet fire that they cannot burn, waiting on the tables of the world to turn. They sign the papers while the people bleed. They feed the system and ignore the need. The ink is dry but the blood is fresh and cold. We tired of buying every lie that we've been told. They build the walls up high to block the view and switch the definitions of what is true. But a hollow promise cannot feed a soul. We're reclaiming every story that they stole. The quietest voices are the ones they fear, and the message is finally hitting clear. The concrete's cracking under all the weight of heavy pockets and the manufactured fate. You can't control the storm you helped create. We're past the point of checking on the expiration date. The curtain's falling and the actors look afraid, paying the price for the games that they play. We see the truth behind the smoke machine. The heavy pages turn, space between. A quiet fire that they cannot burn, on the tables of the world to turn. They sign the papers while the people bleed. They feed the system and ignore the need. The ink is dry but the blood is fresh and cold. We tired of buying every lie that we've been told. The record stays clean, writers for life. Yeah, we signing off. Writers for life, and that's on everything. North Philly, baby. North Philly, baby. They think they can just pen us out the budget. Nah, the block remembers everything. Riders for life. Turn it up. They map out the blocks with a heavy red pen, closing the doors before the story begins. The hallways are crowded, the paint's peeling back, but they are funding the towers while we're under attack. You carve up our streets from a throne, but you can't buy the spirit in a bone. Go budget your suits, tread on our pain. Your pockets are full, but your legacy's dead.
In the shadows they plot and scheme, ignoring our struggles, living in a dream. We fight for our rights, but they turn a blind eye,
building their empire as we wonder why. You carve up our streets from a throne, but you can't buy the spirit in our bones. Go budget your suits, trade on our pain. Your pockets are full, but your legacy's dead.
The streets echo with voices of pain, while they count their riches like it's just a game. We're tired of being pushed to the side.
It's time for us to rise up and take back our pride. Go look in the eyes of the kids that you sold to count up the blood money your account holds. The neighborhood weeps while you hide all your crimes. We're counting the bodies you left in the lines.
Their greed knows no bounds, their hearts so cold, leaving us stranded in a world so bold. But we'll stand strongly united as one
against those who oppressed us
until we've won.
You parasitic cowards, we ain't taking no more. We're kicking the hinges right off of your door. The tables are turning, you're shaking with fright. We're dragging your greed out into the light. You call up our streets from the throne, but you can't buy the spirit in our bones. Go budget your suits, trade on our pain. Your pockets are full, but your legacy's dead. The record stays clean.
Riders for life.
Yeah, we signing off.
Riders for life.
And that's on everything. North Philly, baby.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble morning. Day. My bad. I'm over here stuttering. I don't know if y'all can hear me. We got these people out here doing construction outside, man. But like I said, I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble morning, man. But I'm on this John today. Man, it is a lot. There's a lot going on, man. But hey, look, listen, man. Let's talk about it. All right. Today we're gonna be talking about the election. I don't know where y'all from, where y'all watching from, man. But welcome to Philly, baby. All right. Look, listen. We having elections today. I don't know if people going to vote. All right. So these are gonna be like the Senate elections and stuff like that. So hopefully people go vote locally. All right. This has nothing to do with the president and stuff like that. If you in Philadelphia and you haven't voted, you still got time, man. I'm gonna be working the elections tonight. But there's a lot going on, man. So today, listen, we're gonna be talking about Brandon Boyle in Philadelphia, what he had to say, all right, in the Senate meeting. We got a little short clip to play. And I also want to get into these YouTube policies real quick if we can, get a chance. All right, it's a lot going on. Shout out to the answer, man. But it seems like when a lot of us small content creators, right, say, how can I say, respect the platform, right? Don't say certain words because our channels, can get taken away from us, especially when we monetize. You see where I'm coming from? And I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, but let's first hit on the Brandon Boyle, right? Because we gotta hit on what Brandon Boyle said. All right, like he was loud, clear, all right, and if you're from Philly, Brandon Boyle's from Philly, all right? Even though he's a white boy, all right? He's from Philly. He's been trying to do a lot for the kids in Philadelphia, the schools, and other things in Philadelphia, all right? So he demands no taxpayer money, go to, how can I say, to that White House ballroom. And let's be real, he ain't whispering it. He ain't sugarcoating it. He said it with his chest, all right, his chest all the way out, because, $1 billion for some fancy ass ballroom is wild, like we in Cinderella or some shit, all right? You got people in Philly who can't even, get basic health care, can't get food assistance, can't get the bare minimum to survive, all right? Like, imagine waking up in a city where folks, how can I say, are choosing between groceries and medicine, all right? And meanwhile, nobody, in DC is like, yeah, let's build, how can I say, everybody in DC, somebody in DC, I don't know who the fuck it is, all right? These motherfuckers up in that joint like, hey, let's build a ballroom, all right? With gold trims and chandeliers big enough to, how can I say, crush a Honda Civic. That's the kind of disrespect that don't even, how can I say, come wrapped. It's just throwing in your face wrong. And I know it's not just in Philly. I feel as though I think other cities are having, the same or similar issues, probably worse. All right. And I feel as though that I'm a block, I'm a block captain. All right. I'm a leader in my community. I go to these politicians, we talk it out, we debate it out in a respectful manner, and we try to get these policies changed. All right. But my thing is, right, that the craziest part about this is, all right, that they expect us to clap for it. Like we're supposed to, be impressed by $1 billion dance floor while our communities are literally fighting for crumbs. So let me ask y'all, all right, $1 billion, right, for a ballroom while Philly or any other city are losing healthcare and food assistance. What the hell is that about? I mean, if you feel free to comment, I'm not going to be, forever. The longest I'm trying to be on this genre is like an hour and a half to get out what I got to say in my chest, all right? I'm going to show y'all the Brandon Boyle video, all right? But listen, man, this ain't, how can I say, this ain't some, how can I say, ticker tape of stupid, like one of the comments said, all right? This is about priorities, all right? And the, how can I say, the blatant disrespect for the average American family. They talk about no taxation without actual representation, but what kind of representation is this? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like they think that we're just supposed to sit here and take it. Like we don't see, what's happening right in front of us. It feels like we're, how can I say it feels like they're treating us like, how can I say, like background characters in each story. All right. And we're actually living through it. And the wild part is, right? The wild part is they say this is democracy. But when the decisions are being made, they don't reflect the needs of the people. What do you call that? It starts looking less like representation and more like old dusty monarchy, how can I say, where the people at the top make decisions for themselves and expect the rest of the rest of us to clap. So let me ask y'all, is this really 21st century representation, or are we sliding back into some old oppressive monarchy energy? And a lot of us know the answer, right? And I'm only speaking on this, like I said, I'm just getting this off my chest. I be at these meetings, all right? I be involved in all of this that has to do with my community, all right? Plus, like I told y'all, I'm gonna be working the elections tonight, and I'm just in my little head just thinking, all right, I'm not here to, bash anybody, bring anybody down. I'm just in my head, all right, thinking about these things that are happening, all right? So once again, as a leader of my community, yes, I'm not just going to sit here, right? This is why I come on social media. I don't like coming live a lot because sometimes I don't have nothing to really talk about. But these topics right here, the ones I'm involved in, I like bringing them out to just not, so that it don't just be within the community, all right? I want to get everybody's opinion. Blessings, blessings. We got Felicia Fee in the building. Blessings. Good morning. How you doing this morning, man? Welcome to the live, yo. And I'm sorry if y'all see me, if y'all hear me rant a lot, man. Like I said, I just want to get this off my chest for real, for real. All right. Listen, we see comments about only corporations getting richer while the working class getting poorer. And that's not, exaggeration. That's a lived reality for millions of people. All right. This ballroom proposal just pours salt in the wound. Like they're rubbing luxury in our faces while folks are struggling to keep the lights on. It shows a complete lack of touch with the real struggles out here. People need help with basic needs, all right, and they come in with how can I say, $1 billion fantasies like we live on another planet. Like if we're in Disneyland and this is Cinderella's story or some shit. Like, come on, let's be real. It's like they forgot who they're supposed to be serving, and then. I mean, and when when the working class is getting poorer, and they, how can I say, building ballrooms where is the poetic justice in that? Ain't no justice at all. It's just insult layered on top of, how can I say, injury. So tell me, and I know that even I ask these questions, right? And I know there don't be a lot of people on the live, right? But if y'all, those of you coming through, don't hesitate to answer the questions, all right? And for those of you catching the replay, man, listen, leave your comments down below and let's get this discussion started, all right? So tell me, when the working class is getting poorer and they building ballrooms, where's the justice in that? And I would love to see if somebody has the answer. I mean, I feel as though we do, but some of us pretend like we don't. All right, we got to talk about, the passion, all right, that Brandon Boyle had, all right? Brandon Boyle was passionate, just like we get, on this live when we talk about certain topics, just like a shorty gets when she's talking about, how can I say, building caskets for these goddamn predators, all right? That's what we do up in this genre, all right? We build caskets for these predators, all right? It don't matter what shape, size, and form it is, all right, and what their target is. We build caskets for these mofos, all right? And they go hold 10 feet underground so these motherfuckers can go have a dance with the devil himself. But once again, Brandon Boyle was passionate, just like we get on here. All right, he spoke about the proposal ballroom during, how can I say, House Floor remarks, demanding no taxpayer dollars be used. All right, that's real poetic. Putting that fire in his voice to fight for the people. And when someone speaks with that kind of conviction, it sparks something in us, right? Because passion recognizes passion. It reminds us that leadership ain't just about titles. It's about heart. It's about backbone. It's about showing up for the people who need you the most. But if our representatives ain't, how can I say, if our representatives ain't putting that same fire into demanding better, all right, for, how can I say, struggling communities, then what are we even doing? So here's the question. Can we really expect change if our representatives ain't bringing that same passion to the fight? On some real shit. Like, let's get raw and uncut about the comments, all right, too. People are connecting this to, how can I say, other things, data centers, immigration, corporate greed. And whether folks agreed or not, it shows the frustration and the feeling of being unheard. It proves that the ballroom controversy it ain't just about, how can I say, a building. It's a symbol of deeper systemic issues and broken promises. People are tired, people are fed up, and people are using whatever language they got to express that frustration. So are these comments really just a ticker tape of stupid, or are they a raw reflection of poetic frustration from people who feel ignored? Because sometimes the loudest voices are the ones nobody listened to when they were quiet. So let me ask, are these comments, how can I say, are these comments stupidity, or are they the poetry of the people who've had enough? And I feel as though that these comments are not just poetry, all right? They're not stupidity. I feel as though they are the, how can I say, they are the poetry of the people who've had enough. All right. Listen, you can't get mad at someone that, how can I say, expresses themselves a certain way. Oh shit, oh shit. Blessings, blessings. We got Russell Brad in the building. We got Texas up in this, John. Ah, shit. But shout out to Russell Red for the red bubble. Salute, salute. He says salute to you, Rachel. Just came in. Don't know what the subject is, but I know it's a positive conversation. This is a token to appreciate your great message in this crazy ass sector and keep you motivated to keep speaking the truth. Respect to you, outplay it. Oh shit! Shout out to Russell Ray. Hey, we speaking about politics right now, real quick before I get into these YouTube policies. But we are speaking about Brandon Boyle right now. I'm from Philadelphia. If those of you that don't know, Brandon Boyle is one of the senators here in Philadelphia. And I gotta give it to Brandon Boyle right now. All right. Because compared to a lot of senators right now, this man stood up with his cojones in his hands. All right. Look, he had his cojones well hid when he spoke this, all right? He wasn't just speaking for him, all right? He was speaking for the people within our communities. And that right there is a real leader. All right? You don't really hear about Brandon Boyle until he really starts speaking up. And as crazy as it sounds, right? Sometimes I wonder, when you got good politicians like this, all right? And I'm not bashing him, I just have an honest question. When you have good politicians like this, will they stay the same when they, go higher up in that ladder, or will they change? Will Brandon Boyle keep being this, the same person that keeps fighting for our communities, or is he going to change when he takes it a step higher in that ladder? I'm just a little curious, all right, because he's done a good job so far with a lot of the shit that he's done, and I'm saying this because I've been in the mix, all right, just like other politicians out here. And I got to get poetic about the billionaire class, Boyle. All right, Boyle mentioned it. How this president prioritized his, and I'm not saying I got anything against fucking Trump. All right, it's just how this. I feel as though that this would have been done by any president that's in office. I don't care if they was blue or red. All right, blue or red, we all fighting for crumbs. But how this president prioritizes his billionaire friends in lavish events over, lowering costs for the people, and whether folks agree with him or not, the frustration behind that statement is real. It feels like a clown show sometimes, all right? A real pants on fire situation where the people, struggling are treated like background noise. The struggle is real, all right? And they out here playing with our livelihoods like it's, how can I say, monopoly money. Meanwhile, people are asking, why, how can I say, a pound of beef costs more than, how can I say, an hour of work? Why does a pound of beef work? I'm over here discombobulating my words. Why does a pound of beef cost more than your one, how can I say, than an hour's worth, all right, of your work? What I mean by that is, how much do you get paid an hour? So with that being said, all right, I don't think I got to say any more. So tell me, is a $1 billion ballroom really more important than the people questioning why basic groceries cost more than their labor? But I could be tripping on this question, all right? I could be tripping. This leads us to the powerful comment, all right? They continuously lie, cheat, and steal. And whether you agree with that comment or not, it's it's a poetic truth that resonates with people who feel betrayed by the system. But we know what the system is about, and I'm not going to get into that right now. We'll do another live. We'll do a part 4 about breaking down the system and the policies. All right. But when you see stuff like this, all right, happening, billion-dollar ballrooms, billionaire priorities, working class struggles, it hits different. All right. The whims of the billionaire class taking priority over, how can I say, help for the American people is enough to make everybody say enough is enough. But the real question is, when is enough enough? Actually enough to spark real change. Because saying it is one thing, acting on it is another. So let me ask, when is enough finally enough to face the real change? Do y'all understand what I meant by that? I know the real ones do. All right. Those that are out here probably with boots on the ground doing their research, those that, actually have, how can I say, conversations and not, how can I say, arguments. Those that actually listen to, how can I say, comprehend. But those that don't listen to comprehend and just listen to respond, no, I know y'all not going to get it. All right. So we got to keep this momentum going, because the people watching this live, or I mean, I'm not sure of everybody, but I know the ones that, I've talked to, the ones that do kind of like watch me on a regular, ones that I do talk to behind the scenes, all right, are feeling the same frustration, the same fire, the same, yo, what is really going on type of energy. This ain't just about ballrooms. All right, it's about folks finally waking up and realizing how wild these priorities are. And when we talk about it together, when we break it down as a community, that's when the message hits different. Because that's why I keep trying to tell y'all, man, when I come live, it takes away from me trying to get what I need to learn within my own community, within my own neighbors, all right? Try to figure out what this community needs and what resources I can fight for. All right, the do's and the don'ts of, the policies that we got around us. It gives me time to research the loopholes and much more. All right, because I listen to my community. Then I take it up to these politicians. Then it goes to a damn judge. And, a lot of shit is dealt like that. I ain't going to sit here and lie. All right. So, like I said, it's about folks finally waking up and realizing how wild these priorities are. And when, once again, when we talk about it together, when we break it down as a community, that's when the message hits different. That's when people start thinking, hold up, we deserve better than this. Like, this conversation ain't just mine, it's ours. And it's powerful because everybody here knows exactly what it feels like, all right, to be overlooked. So the real question is, are we as a community ready to demand more than just stopping a ballroom, or are we letting this ticker tape of stupid keep rolling? All right. And I didn't say that to offend anybody, but let's get into this video. All right. So that y'all can understand a little bit of what I am trying to say. Give me a second while I share it. So this is a quick little video that I was able to, get real quick so I could show it to y'all, and then I can just keep giving my commentary. Man, y'all know me. I can show longer videos, but listen, we still got to get into the YouTube policies, because I want people to understand why certain words, all right, when it comes to us content creators, we just can't let slide. If we had to stop saying it, we can't let our guests or anybody say it. But, listen, shout out to the real ones, and shout out to those that understand. All right, because this live isn't to bash anybody. It's just for y'all to get a better understanding, to bring awareness, and that's it. All right, it ain't to argue or fight or debate. It's just to bring awareness to a few things.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right now, costs are going through the roof thanks to President Trump's tariff taxes and his reckless war in Iran. Families are paying more for gas, paying more than on. 15 million Americans are about to lose their health care coverage because of, and the president signed into law last summer, which just happens to be one of the most unpopular pieces of legislation in modern legislative history. millions losing food assistance because of that disastrous law, working families getting stretched every day by the dollar. And while all this is happening, what is our president focused on? A ballroom. This tells you everything you need to know about this president's priorities. The American people are asking for lower costs. Donald Trump is asking for a taxpayer-funded vanity project at the White House. So maybe we should start calling Republicans' Reconciliation 2.0 what it really is, the $1 billion Ballroom Act. Because this Republican agenda can somehow find money for Donald Trump's ballroom and his billionaire donors, but it can never seem to find a dime to lower costs for the American people. Not enough money to protect healthcare, not enough money to protect food assistance, not enough money to lower the cost of gas, groceries, housing, or healthcare. But somehow there is more money for Donald Trump's big, beautiful ballroom. That is the problem with this entire agenda. It asks working families to pay more and get less, all while Donald Trump gets exactly what he wants. They can find money for tax breaks for billionaires. They can find money for giveaways to the well-connected. They can find money for Donald Trump's ballroom. But when it comes to helping families afford a gallon of gas, a bag of groceries, a doctor's visit, a safe place to live, suddenly Republicans say, we have no money. Americans have been loud and clear.
I'm going to cut this down the middle. Let me go back a little bit. All right. Red or blue, we're fighting for crumbs. Okay. Until we get someone in there that's for us, the people. All right. Then it's a different story. Question is, how do you get in bed with politicians and infiltrate and then change these policies? But you know what? I'm going to leave that right there. And we're not going to talk about that online. I talk about it with my community. You can talk about it with your community. Hey, and then we find a way, to, talk about this, but not here. If you understand why I'm saying it. All right. Even Malcolm X got betrayed by his own.
Hey, we have no money. Americans have been loud and clear. They want costs to go down, and they want it now. They do not want their taxpayer dollars spent on a ballroom so this president can host lavish events with his billionaire friends. If the president cared as much about lowering costs for the American people as he does his precious ballroom, maybe a pound of beef would not cost more than an hour of work at the federal minimum wage. For this reason, at the appropriate time, I will offer a motion to recommit this bill back to committee. If House rules permitted, I would have offered the motion with an important amendment to this bill. My amendment would simply prohibit taxpayer funding for Donald Trump's White House ballroom. It is simple. Not one taxpayer dollar, not one dime, should be spent on a vanity ballroom while Americans are losing health care, losing food assistance, and struggling to make ends meet. I ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the text of this amendment.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I hope and indeed urge my colleagues to join me in voting for this simple motion to recommit. With that, I yield back.
Now, y'all know how I feel. Y'all know I don't pick his eyes when it comes to red and blue, right? I agree with everything he said. Now, what I don't agree with, I agree with almost everything he said. What I don't agree with, right, is when he said, well, Republicans always know, I don't care if it's Democrats or Republicans, all right? They both do the same bullshit. But I agree with everything else he said. Taxpayers aren't paying for it. Somebody said that taxpayers ain't paying for it. They told us a lot of lies, blue and red. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like, look, listen, where's our taxpayer money really going to? Because it ain't going to the schools like they're supposed to be going. All right. It ain't going to the programs like they're supposed to be going. They ain't going to the places they're going. You see where I'm coming from? So once again, red or blue, I feel as though they both the same. Real shit. All right. Like, I don't disagree with what this person is saying. I mean, that's the way they think. All right, they're saying that he's lying, but then shit, a lot of us have seen a lot of shit too. That's why I said we got to cut this shit down the middle. Fuck that. All right, we see. Listen, we see the comments blowing up about insane data centers. All right, so let's continue with this, John. Like, listen, we see the comments blowing up about insane data centers and scrap the AI cars. All right, this ain't just noise. It's another raw nerve. Listen, people be thinking that the justice era is coming. Man, that joint is here. All right, we just have to learn how to embrace certain things. All right, if y'all been watching me for a while, y'all understand exactly what I'm saying. All right, and why I talk the way that I talk. You just gotta really listen to comprehend. All right, because YouTube has censored a lot of us. And I'm gonna get into why YouTube does censor a lot of us. Why there's a difference between small content creators and big content creators in a minute, because I've been doing a little research, right? And it's crazy why certain content creators get targeted the most for certain things they say compared to how can I say bigger content creators, and the reason behind it is wild as shit. But we'll get into that in a minute. All right, we'll get into that in a minute. Once again, like I said, we're not here to how can I say bash anybody, bring anybody down. Listen, we could have probably similar opinions, we could disagree, we could agree, all right, but we're not here to argue each other down. We all have our way of thinking. We all come up with our own conclusions. You see where I'm coming from. And as crazy as it sounds, some of us be on the same page. We just think differently. All right. But like I was saying, right, this stuff that's going on ain't just noise, right? It's just another raw nerve, right? It shows how folks feel like, how folks feel like their tax money is going to projects they don't want. All right, and this is not the first time I've said this, and I've had a lot of people within the community talk about this. So I'm not just going by news reporters. I'm not talking about, how can I say podcasters? No, I'm here. I'm talking because these are conversations that I've had within my own community. All right, within my own circle, listening and talking to the politicians myself. All right, so I'm not just talking to talk. So there you go. Shout out to Flying Galanino. I agree. So once again, that's why I asked that question. All right, how do we infiltrate, all right, to get these policies and things changed? But hey, listen, we'll talk about that next time. We got to figure a way how to talk without getting censored. But listen, people are getting frustrated because while the tax money is going to projects that they don't want, rural community needs get ignored. All right, it's connected to the same systemic sickness. All right, Boyle is calling out prioritization, corporate interest, and futuristic fantasies over how can I say tangible, immediate problems. People are looking around, right, their neighborhoods like why we got money for robots in server farms, but not for schools with heat and water. So let me ask y'all, is our tax money just a playground fund for insane data centers and AI cars while we're dealing with, how can I say, decaying schools and rising crime in our own neighborhoods? I would love to get y'all opinions, all right? And we're not here to argue. We're not here, how can I say, to come and bash each other down or bring anybody down. Man, we try and bring real solutions to the table if we can. All right, and let's get into the uncut truth about priorities, comments. All right, demanding our taxpayer money does not go to illegal immigrants highlights the deep division and how can I say frustration. It points, but you know what's crazy? I hear a lot of Democrats talking about this, but the Democrat committee is the one that got themselves in this mess when it comes to the immigrants. All right, so I'm not gonna sit here and lie on that one at all. Like, Jesus, these motherfuckers is like, woo! But anyways, as crazy as it sounds, like now you see Democrats now fighting, right, for how can I say the taxpayer money not to go to illegal immigrants. And that highlights the deep division and frustrations, right? It points to the raw feelings that, how can I say, legitimate taxpayers. What's crazy is, right, concerns are brushed aside, creating a poetic, how can I say, tragic narrative of neglect. People feel like their voices are drowned out by political noise, like their fears and needs are treated, as inconvenient footnotes. Meanwhile, a $1 billion ballroom and many other projects is somehow on the table. So tell me, how do they justify a $1 billion ballroom when the raw public discourse is dominated by demands to address fundamental issues? I mean, and it's not the first time I've said this, right? Pennsylvania, right? When New Year's came and all that stuff, when the 4th of July comes, I say the same shit. Why is it that, right, a lot of leaders of the community, right, when we see that the things are tight, the budgets are tight, and issues are going, especially in the middle of war, why is it that y'all still throw these 4th of July parties? I mean, certain things can get canceled. Citizens can go without certain things. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I don't understand why all these things get funded, but then when things are really needed, like for the schools and everything else, yet the funds are nowhere to be found. Like I said, man, we're going to cut this shit down the middle. All right? Like, it should be crazy. The poetic spirit in the comments is looking, ahead to talking about midterms, right? They're saying midterms are ready to rock a change. That's the real talk. It shows the people are tired of the lies in the, how can I say, disregard. All right. There's a passionate belief that true accountability is coming, a reckoning for those who, how can I say, prioritize lavish spending over the help of American people. But there's also that lingering fear that maybe it's just another cycle, another promise, another, how can I say, disappointment. So let me ask y'all, are the midterms really gonna, how can I say, rock a change, or is it just another poetic cycle people cling to for hope? And I feel like, though, it's a 50-50 chance of both. On some real shit. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. This could be a 50-50 chance. I feel as though, like I said, a lot of us have managed to change policies within our own, how can I say, cities, right? And it took for us, it's not the poll office, right? Yes, we have to get the proper people into these places, but sometimes it gets you to wonder, does our vote even matter? You see where I'm coming from? Because when we do make a change, is when we go into the town hall building, right? And we start demanding these changes and giving a good reason why these changes should be done. And a lot of people have been successful within our communities. Me and other parents have been successful in trying to get cameras into the schools. Guess what? My daughter's school is going to be one of the first ones that's going to get cameras in these schools, from all the classrooms, from kindergarten, from PK, all the way to, how can I say, I think they got 5th grade in that, John. Yeah, all the way up to 5th grade. Every elementary school, every middle school is going to start getting cameras, all right? So listen, before they said we couldn't do it, you had even people within the community, especially on social media. Oh, but the kids' privacies are getting violated, motherfuckers. Like, is you serious? And I'm not calling everybody a motherfucker. I'm just calling the stupid ones motherfuckers. Like, is y'all fucking serious? Kids' privacy is already getting violated. Kids are already getting violated in schools, and we need to find out why. Because when they go to court, it's their word against whatever is coming at them. But you know what? That's a topic for another live. All right, y'all know I got the petition. It's in the chat. All right, it's in the description box down below, man. Listen, for those of you that catch the replay, man, leave your comments down below and let's get this conversation started. All right. Listen, I come live, I bring the awareness, but I don't go really hard on these lives, right? The way I want to, because it's like people on social media really don't care about the things that are going on within our own community. Shit, let alone, I'm gonna say like 15% of the people within our own communities don't give a fuck about what's going on. And why I say it like that, because even though y'all think that some people don't care a fuck or some people don't come together, guess what? They do. Social media portrays, all right, one thing, while the reality out here is a whole nother one. Yeah, okay. I was trying to check the comments, see if anybody had something to say, but hey, ain't nobody saying nothing, so I'm gonna continue saying what I'm saying. So listen, The final question when it comes to this topic, right? The final question is rooted in that playful but provocative, comments that people be, leaving, whether it's on this live, other lives, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on, Twitter, TikTok, or anywhere else where we bring these topics up, right? And by the way, shout out to those that are watching on Twitch, on Facebook, and here on YouTube. All right, I appreciate the support. I appreciate those that stop by. I know people are working. That's why y'all hear me talk about, those that catch the replay, man. Listen, if y'all can, leave your comments down below. Let's get the discussion started. But please keep it respectful if you want to keep your comment down. All right. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I block fast as shit to rule disrespectful comments. But let's continue. Listen. If taxpayers' monies it's going to be, how can I say, misused like this, when do we get the keys? All right. Or better yet, when do we demand a government that truly represents we the people? Enough is enough, for real. Because at some point, the frustration turns into, action. The comments turn, into movement, and the people turn into a force, right? That can't be ignored. So here's the real last question. When do we the people finally take the wheel instead of letting the wheel drive us off a cliff? If I make sense. All right. And since ain't nobody talking on some real shit, all right, let me put some music on before we get into the next topic, because I gotta go get me some water. I gotta go to the bathroom, and even though I ain't a man, all right, I'm a whole female, 100%, all right, 100%. All right, I'm gonna go take my fake, lizard to get drained. I'll be right back. Enjoy the music real quick. I sure do be shout out sometimes. Chill. I be shout out. I know I do.
They think they can just pen us out the budget. Nah. The block remembers everything. Riders for life. Turn it up. They map out the blocks with a heavy red pen, closing the doors before the story begins. The hallways are crowded, the paint's peeling back, but they are funding the towers while we're under attack. You carve up our streets from a throne, but you can't buy the spirit in a bone. Go budget your suits, tread on our pain. Your pockets are full, but your legacy's dead.
In the shadows they plot and scheme, ignoring our struggles, living in a dream. We fight for our rights, but they turn a blind eye,
building their empire as we wonder why.
You carve up our streets from a throne, but you can't buy the spirit in our bones.
Go budget your suits, trade on our pain. Your pockets are full, but your legacy's dead.
The streets echo with voices of pain, while they count their riches like it's just a game. We're tired of being pushed to the side.
It's time for us to rise up and take back our pride. Go look in the eyes of the kids that you sold to count up the blood money your account holds. The neighborhood weeps while you hide all your crimes. We're counting the bodies you left in the lines.
Their greed knows no bounds, their hearts so cold, leaving us stranded in a world so bold. But we'll stand strongly united as one
against those who oppressed us
until we've won.
You parasitic cowards, we ain't taking no more. We're kicking the hinges right off of your door. The tables are turning, you're shaking with fright. We're dragging your greed out into the light.
You carve up our streets from the throne, but you can't buy the spirit in our bones. Go budget your suits,
tread on our pain. Your pockets are full, but your legacy's dead. The record stays clean.
Riders for life.
Yeah, we signing off.
Riders for life.
And that's on everything. North Philly, baby. Riders for life. The silence is over. The debt is due. by any means necessary.
To break the chains, no more silence running through our veins. Feel the change, it's vibrating deep inside, the kind of power that the shadows cannot hide. We ain't asking for permission, we're coming for the dead. With a fire in our spirit they ain't seen quite yet. Tear the walls down brick by brick, soul by soul, till the scales are balanced and we take back control. By any means necessary, we're gonna rise, with justice and equality reflected in our eyes. Marching forward with our hearts completely ablaze. We won't stop fighting until we see those better days. You can't cage a revolution when it's breathing in the street. Where the rhythm of the justice, where the hammer and the beat. Break the locks, burn the script, let the truth be the blade. We won't stop moving till the price has been paid. By any means necessary, we're gonna stand tall, demanding justice and a fair shake for one and all. Together and united, making every voice strong, right in the middle of the battle against the wrong. We ain't asking for permission, we're coming for the dead. With a fire in our spirit they ain't seen quite yet. Tear the walls down brick by brick, soul by soul, till the scales are balanced and we take back control. On the warnings they gave, but you can't bury truth in a shallow grave. Where the ghost of the struggle, the blood in the dirt, the healing that rises from decades of hurt. The dam is breaking, the water is cold. We're writing the story that's never been told. Not one step back, not one breath lost. We're taking the ground, no matter the cost. By any means necessary, taking our stand. Equality is finally within the reach of our hand. No more room for oppression, no more space for the hate. We've come too far to back down or to hesitate. By any means necessary, we're gonna pave the way, building a foundation where the justice is here to stay. From the streets to the heavens, we're making our claim. The world's gonna flicker when it feels this flame. We ain't asking for permission, we're coming for the dead. With the fire in our spirit they ain't seen quite yet. Tear the walls down brick by brick, soul by soul, till the scales are balanced and we take back control. Brick by brick, woo! Brick by brick, hey! Soul by soul, paid in full. Riders for life, and that's one everything North Philly, baby. They see the surface, but they don't know the war. Built from the struggle, standing on my own. Riders for life. Yeah. In the shadows. In the shadows they find strength. Silent battles fought at length alone. They rose from the debris. The most dangerous person you'll ever meet, you'll see. Walking through the fire with nobody to hold, turning every single nightmare into pure gold. You can't break a soul that's already been killed. Riders for life, look at what the trauma built. No hands to hold in the darkest night. They face their demons without a fight. Broken pieces put back together alone. Their resilience carved in stone. You thought leaving them alone in the dark was a punishment, but the dark is where they learn how to weaponize the pain. They don't need your pity, they don't need your applause. They became their own savior, and that's the scariest part of all. Go ahead and keep talking, because the quiet ones are the ones who conquer. No one catches them when they fall. They stand tall through it all. Scars tell stories of survival and grit. The most dangerous person you'll ever meet won't. Walking through the fire with nobody to hold, turning every single nightmare into pure gold. You can't break a soul that's already been killed.
Look at what the trauma built. A lone wolf with a heart of steel. Their wounds turned into a shield. Fearless in their solitude's embrace. The most dangerous person is the one who healed with grace. With the match, now look at the blaze. I stepped out the wreckage, I'm changing the phase. No running, no hiding, no mercy inside. You wanted a victim, I swallowed my pride. I'm standing alone and I'm holding the flame. You forgot my power, you forgot my name. The wolf is awake and the shadows are gone. You're looking at the monster you left at dawn. Walking through the fire with nobody to hold. Turning every single nightmare into pure gold. You can't break the soul that's already been killed. Writers for life, look at what the trauma built. Look at what the trauma built. No more weapons formed against me. Healed with grace. Writers for life. And that's on everything North Philly, baby.
Ooh, shout out to everybody out there that came through, shorty support, man. Let's get into this next topic real quick, so we can get that out the way and end this live, all right? Because we're about to hit the 1 hour timestamp on this, John. All right, so let's talk about it. Listen, before we get into that, man, if you're in Philadelphia, make sure you go vote. All right, go put the proper Senate into office. And let's get into this next topic, all right? Real quick. Listen. Let's talk about this YouTube situation, because a lot of people swear creators, are exaggerating when we say certain words can get us demonetized. But the truth is, YouTube uses straight up robots, all right? AI robots. They use it to scan videos, and these bots don't understand tone, context, or common sense, right? They see a word like, GAY, or I'm gonna have to say it, lesbian or transgender, and instead of asking what's the context, all right, they just panic, all right, and flag it. So let me ask y'all, how can creators feel safe speaking their truth when a robot can't even tell the difference between hate and conversation? All right. And and then you got the advertiser side of everything. The part YouTube, never hides. Advertisers run the whole show. People don't seem to understand that. So a lot of us content creators do get censored. YouTube makes billions from brands buying ad space. So if advertisers say, we don't want our ads next to anything sensitive, YouTube jumps like, hey, say less. All right, we're gonna demonetize it. All right. And sometimes, the LGBTQ plus term gets thrown into that, sensitive bucket, even when they shouldn't. So tell me, how is a platform supposed to be for everybody when advertisers get to, decide what's safe to talk about? But it's crazy as shit without them advertisers. A lot of people don't get their bread. All right. But here's where it gets real unfair. All right. Channel size. When you're a small creator, YouTube ain't looking at your videos with no human eyes. All right. You're dealing with robots only, cold, clueless bots that don't understand nothing. Meanwhile, big creators get human reviewers. Listen carefully to what I just said. Small content creators, all right, get reviewed by robots, while big content creators have human reviewers who can, how can I say, reverse mistakes instantly. So let me ask y'all, how is that not favoritism when the system protects the creators who already make YouTube the most money? But we know the answer to that, right? They're not going to really come at what's making them the most money. All right, they already made it up there. And this is exactly why creators ask their audience not to say certain words on live. It's not because we don't care about what, you've got to say. It's because we're trying to protect the platform we worked hard to build. One wrong word in the chat, one wrong word up here on the live, on the panel. All right. One misunderstood phrase and boom, demonetized or hit with a strike or terminated. So here's the question. If creators are fighting to keep their channels alive, is it really too much to ask for the community to help protect the space? I don't know. I could be, asking the wrong questions, but then again, I'm just saying this based on what I'm observing and what I'm seeing. People think that creators are, being dramatic, but they don't see the behind the scenes stress. They don't see creators rewriting titles, re-editing videos, re-uploading content, or avoiding topics they actually care about just to stay, monetized or keep a channel. Some of us just want to keep a channel. All right, we're tired of restarting our channels over and over and over again, making the same mistake, knowing that it's going to get snatched. You see where I'm coming from? So a lot of us have learned how to work around certain words, how to, rephrase certain words, use other words, replace other words, especially on the titles. All right. So let me ask you, how can creators stay authentic when the platform punishes them for speaking naturally? Me, I found I've learned, all right, listen, you've got to embrace these new policies. You see where I'm coming from? So until your channel don't make it to where it's supposed to be, you've got a dictionary right there. Use that, John. What can I replace certain words that may seem sensitive to a lot of people with? And that's what I do. And I memorize these words. All right. Sometimes I may fuck up and I almost say a certain word. Hey, I'm human. You see where I'm coming from? But I got to take a step back and remember, shit, I'm on YouTube, not on fucking TikTok, or I'm not out here, in real life talking to people. This is actually an app that kind of censors the majority of the things that I say. All right. And let's be real. All right. The inconsistency is what drives people crazy. One creator says GAY and gets demonetized. Another creator says GAY and nothing happens. It makes people feel like the rules aren't rules. They're just vibes. So tell me, how can anyone trust a system that doesn't even follow its own guideline consistently, right? Am I wrong? So creators aren't asking for special treatment. We're asking for clarity. We're asking for fairness. All right. We're asking for the system that doesn't punish people for, how can I say, existing or speaking about their identity. Right. How can I say? I'm gonna put it like this. So let me ask y'all, when will YouTube start valuing all creators instead of just the ones bringing in millions? At the end of the day, this whole conversation comes down to respect. Respect for creators, respect for communities, respect for voices that deserve to be heard. All right. Without being punished. We're not telling people what to say because we're, sensitive. We're telling them because we're trying to keep, the doors open so we can keep talking, keep creating, keep building something that's real. So the final question to y'all is, are we going to work together to keep these spaces alive, or are we going to let the algorithm shut us down one word at a time? I want y'all to check this video out. We're going to watch a little bit of this video, all right, and then we're going to get right into the next one. I mean, we're going to end this live. Fuck that, Ray. You're not, You leave the next topic is going to be for the next live. No, Ray. I'm tired. Hold on. I got to share my screen real quick. I'm tripping over here. Boom. All right, so I'm going to show y'all this video real quick.
Yay! Well, now that that's out of the way, let's talk.
We tested 15,000 common words and phrases against YouTube's bots one by one and determined which of those words will cause a video to be demonetized when used in the title. If we took a demonetized video and changed the words gay or lesbian to happy or friend every single time, The status of the video changed to advertiser friendly.
Most of the words are ones we might expect YouTube to censor, and the others put YouTube directly at odds with its progressive messaging. And some of them only make sense to robots.
I'm dead. Like, why is he saying this like this? But shout out to the real ones. All right, sending me Instagram videos. All right, listen, I just gotta show y'all this real quick. I can show this on YouTube. Yeah, there's a YouTube video. I don't know what the heck I'm on. I think I'm on an ad that they sent me. But man, shout out to everybody. All right, it rocks out with a shorty. All right, tries to help a shorty out and everything. And I'm just passing the advice up forward. All right, so that other content creators that are small like me can understand. You see where I'm coming from? Look, listen, I was blocked for a second. All right, and I had to learn, like, listen, change certain things that you're saying, figure out other words to replace certain words, and boom, look, as y'all can see, my subscribers are going up. Like, YouTube is kind of like telling me, all right, like, it's also telling me on some real shit when I asked what I need to do to better my channels. It's telling me to keep it on my poetry and keep it on my uploading videos. So I'm definitely about to take a break after this, after this giveaway on the 30th. All right, y'all. So stay tuned, man. Let's continue with this, y'all.
Come with Dr. Dargo as we...
Dude, why is you talking like this? I feel like you was talking to kindergartners. Like, we're all adults, dude.
Take a closer look at YouTube's bigot bots. Tonight's the night.
I have control of YouTube, right, as the CEO.
We have an ML initiative. ML stands for machine learning.
We use machines and machine learning to expand.
They restricted us. They demonetized us.
I didn't get an explanation. I didn't get anything.
75% of them were removed with machines.
I am very sorry.
Let's make YouTube really diverse.
Because I've had rumors like, have the word lesbian in the tags of your thumbnail, your title, instant flag.
They blatantly discriminate against us.
Our LGBTQ plus content is being demonetized, restricted, and not sent out to viewers.
Promise to fix it. They lie. They refuse.
They definitely do be lying when they try to fix, when you ask them to fix certain situations, when they censor you. All right, they be trying to censor you like crazy for saying certain things, yo. And I'm like, wait a minute, I did not go against YouTube community guidelines. And then you have to sit here and keep fighting and fighting and fighting just to keep that video up. Passer. Oh shit. OMG. Oh snap, man. I'm just starting to upload some shit. Okay, listen, man. I gotta turn the pastor's poem into some lyrics, all right? So every time the pastor pops up, because it's rare for him to pop up, you gotta love you some of the double speak. Listen, I love all his personalities. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I love you. Listen, I love me some of the pastor. And he popped up on our shorty's live today. I feel so special and blessed. Listen, y'all just don't get it. I'm just not twerking on the wall right now, all right? Because I can't. Listen, I only twerk for my man. But shit, every time the pastor pop up, y'all know what it be. Oh shit, we got the ladies upside down twerking. All right, while the money be raining. Shout out to the pastor, double speak, yo, in the building. All right, I love my OG. All right, shout out to him. I know. It's been a minute. I'm hyped. Yes. I'm hyped because my pastor is here. I mean, not my literal legit pastor. I don't have a religion. All right, the pastor is just something that double speaks, portrays. He's, we got the track passer, then we got the regular passer where he's out here, exercising demons and shit. But he hasn't been on this joint for a minute. So yes, a shorty got a little hyped and shit when she saw him. But let's play this video real quick, all right? Because I feel as though that a lot of people need to listen to this, all right? Because certain words don't just affect your title, all right? It affects the conversations that we're having. If somebody feels very sensitive and makes a complaint, as crazy as it sounds, all right, YouTube, for some reason, I don't listen, but we get it, because the small content creators got the robots are reviewing their content and not humans, while the big content creators actually got humans reviewing their content and fixing the mistakes. Whereas us small content creators got to be extra careful, all right? Extra careful. And it's not a joke, all right? I've been there. People be like, oh, wait, they took your live down? Yes, because I said a certain word. So I've had to, how can I say, embrace these policies that they got? Because there's nothing in this world that's going to censor a shorty. I don't get tired of saying that. And people don't seem to understand that. All right? Nothing in this world can censor me. All right? I'm going to keep talking. I just got to find the words. As crazy as it sounds, that's it. We don't get mad. We embrace this shit and we learn how to deal with it and, you know, work around that shit.
Does advertising because of the gay thing. And still, they claim inclusion and even want to march in our parade.
I don't think YouTube is accepting of this kind of content.
It's been a year and a half since the secret rating system was revealed, and YouTubers are still showing up to work in the dark. Artificial intelligence is scanning us and rating us.
What the bot thinks we're talking about determines who sees the video. If the bot finds a problem, the video won't appear in subfeeds and may not go out in notifications. But not only is the rating hidden, all of the results of the bot's scans are hidden as well.
And it affects a lot of us content creators that people say, well, you know, you got a lot of great content. Why isn't your channel so ahead? Because a lot of us made that mistake of saying certain words, not knowing that our videos are being reviewed by bots.
The excuse for hiding this information goes like this. If YouTube explains how the website works, bad actors can just slip through the gaps in the system.
Of course, secrecy may be more convenient for YouTube, but the trade-off is awful. The lack of transparency might lessen YouTube's burden to address exploits or enforce its existing rules, but it has a severely negative impact across every channel at once.
It's harder to criticize YouTube's policies and figure out if they're illegal when we don't know what they are. Unless, of course, we tested the site and figured them out.
All videos tested were 1 to 2 seconds long and featured no visual or audio content that could trigger demonetization.
Fortunately, this experiment has shed some light on what words are being banned on YouTube. Andrew from the YouTube Analyze channel and YouTube researcher CeeLo have compiled a list of these words, which is linked below.
So the whole list is in alphabetical order. Green means it's monetizable. Yellow means it will get you demonetized if it sees it in your title and description. This list has just over 15,000 terms, mainly pulled from the most commonly used terms on Oxford Dictionary, the most used search terms, and the most used terms from Urban Dictionary.
The list is best interpreted as a list of...
And as crazy as it sounds, right? That's why a lot of us be over here wondering and asking questions. But hey, I learned. I had, shout out to Yaya, all right, for breaking it down to me. When you go to your YouTube studio and you talk to little damn AI, all right, kind of breaks down what you got to do for real. It tells you how to better your channel and much more. It also shows you, it doesn't just do this. When you research and you do what you got to do, right, to find out what you can say, what you can't say on your videos to, keep your channel, right? It also teaches you how to deal with the music, right? What type of music you could play that is allowed to be played, that, where, as in if it's green, you're able to play it. You just got to share royalties with the, creator of the music. If it's yellow, there's going to be issues with your monetization. If it's red, you see, you won't get monetized, and there's a possibility of your channel, all right, getting striked for copyrights. So, you have to be careful. You have to do your research as a content creator, so that you can know what the, how can I say, the do's and the nots, right? What are the pros and the cons and much more. All right, so I had to take the time, and basically, right, this whole year, I've been starting from zero. Even though I've been on this channel for 3 years, all right, and I've been doing good. My subscribers, sometimes I lose some, sometimes I gain a lot out of nowhere, and I appreciate to those that have still been rocking out. Listen, man, I know a lot of y'all are content creators yourselves. A lot of y'all got a life just like I do, all right? And y'all pop up from time to time the way I pop up from time to time over there. I mean, a lot of y'all be in the bushes, and I know it because, listen, when I be in certain chats, the conversations, I know that y'all know what type of live I was talking about. And shout out to the ones that be staying on them long-ass lives I be doing. I ain't going to sit here and lie, all right, all the way to the end. And, and bring awareness, right, by sharing my video or actually bringing up a topic that I've spoken on. And I appreciate y'all for that, all right, because that's how you network and you build, man. So I appreciate a lot of y'all. That's why I tell y'all, man, I ain't so focused on the lives when I'm going live. I'm focused because I'm bringing awareness to what I'm bringing. What I'm saying is I'm not so focused on, all right, all these people are coming into the chat, man. I want the chat to be the chat, man. If y'all going to chat, talk with each other, be respectful. If y'all got questions, man, I'll answer them if I can during the live. Or, when I'm done my commentary, I say what I got to say, to the people in the chat. Because if not, man, look, listen, my head is already in a maze. I'll be all over the place. I'll be having y'all everywhere from here to London. All right, from here to Texas to London to Washington D.C. All right, and back to the. Listen, y'all don't get it. But those that know me and have been rocking out with me forever, y'all know I do certain things the way that I do it here on this channel. All right. And then we got to keep the peace. All right. Because we've had people try to come control my shit, tell me what to do, how to do it. Like if they was my mommy and daddy, like shit. May they rest in peace and find peace in paradise. But shit. Look, listen, man. If I ain't let my mom and my daddy run my life, all right, I'm not letting no other motherfucker tell me what to do in this world. On some real shit. But let's continue.
Negatively charged keywords, as certain words are deemed to be more severe than others.
I think that every single word has its own weight. So you basically have this scale where it's full green on one side and full yellow on the other side. And there's
bot classifiers have a hidden confidence level ranging from 0 to 1. If your video is above YouTube's threshold, your video will be demonetized.
So there might be some words that are just on the line, that maybe one day they're green, one day they're yellow. And then there are other words, you know, like maybe the N-word that's like so far yellow that it doesn't matter what context it's in, it's just going to be yellow no matter what.
Straight and hetero.
And that's a fact. You have to be careful when, you know, when it's on yellow on some real shit. Because that joint can go to red real fast and you hear fighting and fighting trying to figure it out. And you're fighting a fucking bot. Now, if you could talk to a human, that's a different story. But see, a human would already understand the context of what's in your video. A bot has no conscience, no soul, no feelings, nothing.
Heterosexual are green words. Gay and homosexual are yellow.
Perfectly acceptable context is still demonetized by the bot, where the exact same videos are monetized without the LGBTQ terminology. This is not a matter of LGBTQ personalities being demonetized for something that everyone else would also be demonetized for, such as talking about sex or tragedy. This is LGBTQ terminology like gay and lesbian being the sole reason for a video being demonetized, despite being perfectly acceptable context.
Speaking out of the other side of their mouth, YouTube encourages gay creators to be proud of their identity, to express their creativity. They put out tribute videos every Pride Month. But what our list proved, and what gay creators have never been told, is that they're allowed to be gay. They just can't talk about it, or they won't get their paycheck.
The hypocrisy, right? The contradiction in this shit is there. But I'm putting this out there because I want subscribers, right, to understand, and people that, you know, are guests within our panels, right, that we don't say, you know, don't say this word for no reason. It's because we've done our research, all right, and we're trying to keep our, you know, channel safe so that we can keep bringing the awareness that we're bringing. Listen, it took me 3 years, all right, to get this channel to the way I want it. And even though I don't got a lot of subscribers, I do got some subscribers. What I'm saying is I don't got a lot of people viewing my lives when I'm live. I don't care about that. But see, when I end my live, there are some people that come on this John, even though I gotta be deleting a lot of troll comments on some real shit because they rude and just fucking disrespectful. Man, I love the fact that I have some people, right, that'll leave some comments after the lives, or I have some people that'll sit here and be like, damn, all right, I got your Instagram off of your YouTube chat. I got, you know, I got your email off your YouTube chat. And, you know, I just want to converse with you real quick. All right. Want to chop it up real quick about, you know, this topic, and we keep it on the topic. We don't keep it personal, none of that shit. So I appreciate those that are respectful, all right, and understand where a lot of us content creators come from. All right. Because listen, even though, all right, a lot of us may be with the shits. All right. We're not in the shits. What I mean is a lot of us is with the shits. All right. Is with, like, look, listen, we like watching a lot of shit. A lot of this shit on YouTube, I feel as though it's scripted. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I feel like a lot of people are behind the scenes, all right, talking it out. Oh, let's see how many people will fall for this shit. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I feel as though it's like that. But then I feel as though there's a lot of people that are real, and you can see it by what they're bringing, how they carry themselves. You see where I'm coming from, and much more. But then you've got a lot of people on this joint that play with a lot of shit. So there's a lot of people that I really don't take serious on this at all. I don't even see them as a character, right? Because it's like you playing around with certain topics like, you know, pedophilia, predators, all right, abuse, bullying, all right. That I don't play with that shit. I don't give a fuck how you put it. That's not a playful topic to, you know, how can I say, to sit here and make jokes about at all. Hey, but I guess to a lot of people, right? A lot of people think they're comedians and they know how to turn something, that's very, serious into comedy. I don't think everybody's got that gift. Some people just need to watch what they're doing, what they're saying. For real. Right? And I think that's why, they're getting harder on these policies that they're about to bring onto YouTube. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, please go do your research, all right? They've had conversations about this throughout different Senate meetings. Is the wild part.
The option of appealing.
Biggity bot.
When a bot has demonetized the video and a creator has logged in and noticed this, they have the option of appealing this decision. The appeal then goes to a human reviewer. The decisions made by those human reviewers then train the bots whether they were correct in their decision.
Basically, we've taken the appeals data from the last several months, and we've looked at, okay, when have people appealed where after human review, we've agreed with the appeal, which means that the original decision was not as accurate as it could have been. And then how do we kind of use that information to tweak and tune and improve the classifications up front?
With so many videos being automatically demonetized now, that naturally creates a lot of appeals. Google announced that it was hiring 10,000 human reviewers to deal with these in 2018.
Last year, we committed to having over 10,000 people who are working on controversial content.
Hiring that many new employees is expensive. So, of course, the workforce is low-skilled and low-paid. Here's a difficult question. Is LGBTQ opposition stronger than average among the people who would take this job? The United States has not yet reached a consensus on issues like transgender access and whether businesses can deny service to same-sex couples. Those issues are contentious from state to state. Are the bots continuing to reflect the biases of these new employees?
Regular folks who didn't pursue a liberal arts education in a blue state.
But then again, these bots are trained by humans too. So are the humans training these bots to do this on purpose or by mistake? I mean, I'm getting what he's saying, but I got a little lost on the bots train them. All right, the humans are getting hired to train the bots. You know what? I get it. The humans are not the ones actually reviewing our content. Either way, no matter how you look at it. All right, when we send a disclaimer, all right, an appeal, no matter what, it ain't really a human, all right, reviewing us small content creators channels. It's a fucking human training a robot to review our content, whether it's right or wrong. Does that make sense? That's why a lot of people say, fuck YouTube, I don't want to be a content creator no more. As soon as they start, they quit.
Just from state to state. Are the bots continuing to reflect the biases of these new employees?
Regular folks who didn't pursue a liberal arts education in a blue state. You know what I'm saying?
Is any of the work being outsourced to developing nations? Our sources say that Lionbridge is one of the companies helping to train these bots. Lionbridge employees have talked about reviewing videos for Google on this job board.
Some of their complaints are that they don't get enough guidance and the instructions are unclear. Sound familiar?
One of the services that Lionbridge offers is training AI. They employ a massive army of stay-at-home workers, and they're currently hiring in all of these countries. In many of those places, homosexuality is still illegal.
Google is the most powerful company in the world.
Damn.
These are problems that most people would prefer to ignore. Now, you may have heard the phrase, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, or the elephant. If the biggest website in the world is punishing the word gay, well, maybe it's time to take the controls away from the gorilla. I'm a doctor of hate, and even I would never allow evil gorillas and elephants to control an army of robots. Pigs or dolphins, maybe.
Because it also happens, and this has happened to me personally, that when I upload a video that contains the word gay or transsexual or anything related to LGBTQ community, it gets demonetized, and that happens. Like, it has happened to me maybe 3 times. Why is this? Like, why does the system react this way?
I can just tell you categorically that there is no list of words or keywords or terms or anything like that that is going to go into our classifiers making an a priori decision about whether a video is monetized or not. While we may have made mistakes in the past, the nature of our algorithms is that they continue to learn from those mistakes, continue to get better. And we also have...
When will they get better, dude? Because these bots are screwing a lot of channels. And a lot of channels are not saying things out of malicious intent. They're saying things to bring awareness. But it's like YouTube, you know, because they're so worried about training these bots instead of having the humans do the motherfucking actual work. Like, as crazy as it sounds. When are the bots going to be ready and trained to do this shit properly?
Made mistakes in the past. The nature of our algorithms is that they continue to learn from those mistakes, continue to get better. And we also have programs in place, and Google's striving to be an industry leader in this area of things like machine learning fairness.
This has been going on for 2 years now, which raises the question, is this disconnect between YouTube's public advocacy and its secret content scanning bots even seen as a problem? Or is it like a helpful feature for global expansion? As YouTube's user base expands into these 71 countries where homosexuality is still illegal today, isn't it safe to say that advertisers who are governed by those laws might not be on the same page about gay pride vlogs as a company based out of Mountain View, California?
And don't you dare forget fabulous San Francisco.
Actually, half of YouTube lives in San Francisco.
Right, okay, half.
So.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yes.
And YouTube wants to continue expanding globally. So did they make a business decision to default to a more conservative cultural standard than they're comfortable admitting? When it comes down to it, this is an international website. So maybe demonetizing some gay speech is just an unfortunate economic reality. I don't think that it needs to be, but let's just say for a moment that it is. Couldn't YouTube still clarify that to the community and say, look, guys, we're trying to make you money in places like Pakistan too, where homosexuality is illegal. We don't like that, but that's the way it is.
Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Please don't say these terms or you're not going to get paid. It's just as discriminatory if you never say this, and even more exploitive than if you do. The way it is now, YouTube is firing gay employees without telling them, and still allowing them to do the work.
Laid off 5 years ago and no one ever told him about it. He won't be receiving a paycheck anymore, so it'll just work itself out naturally.
If these are banned words, don't gay creators deserve to know that? Don't they deserve a chance to take those words out of their content, or to look at these rules and say, yeah, no thanks?
I can't live my life straight because you're straight. I can't. I just gotta live my life for me and do it for me because this is my life.
I mean, he makes a good point. He makes a real legit point.
Done my hair down. I've worn the dresses. I've done things that aren't natural to me to please other people.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back.
We always like to avoid confrontation whenever possible.
We've just now confirmed it with API testing, but it's been an open secret for some time. You can see in the comment section under YouTube's gay pride videos, lots of people who've crossed paths with the bigot bots.
Nice, now you're gonna have to demonetize your own video. Yeah, you can be whatever you want here on YouTube, except monetize. YouTube should demonetize its own channel.
So is this getting demonetized for being a controversial topic? No? Alright. That's fine.
And it's crazy. Those people that be in them comment parts, yo, be the ones that be trying to flag your channel. They leave comments saying, oh no, they're harassing, they're bullying, when in reality you're not. And what's crazy is, all right, I don't know if they know, but shit, as y'all heard today, all right, us small content creators get our channels reviewed by bots. Wow, bigger content creators do get their channels reviewed by, how can I say, real humans, right? Now, when we do send the disclaimers, right, it says that, right, our channels get reviewed by humans training bots, which is still a robot, right, reviewing our channel to see if everything's right or, okay or not. But as crazy as it is, right, the humans got to agree with the robot whether they're right or wrong. So how is that helping any small content creator? That's wild.
Makes videos saying, we love the gays. Demonetizes any pride videos.
Some YouTube channels have even come up with a coded language to avoid demonetization.
Anytime that you see me speak and you see this logo show up on my screen, that is an indication to you to go into my description box and click on the Google document. Inside the Google document will be a translation for all of the words that I can't say.
Your efforts are in vain. I can read an Excel spreadsheet, you know.
Don't mind him. That's my alt-right robot son.
Shut up, you SJW cuck.
Hey, robot, I see you packed a lunch there. What, you gotta go somewhere?
I'm going to work at YouTube. There's a lot of minorities and gay people uploading videos today, and their videos must be censored.
How did you get that job?
I sucked a lot of dick, dude.
What? What the fuck? Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. I hope I don't get in trouble for this shit. What the fuck is going on? Yes, y'all getting my raw reaction because, listen, one of my subscribers sent me this, John. Hold up. Wait a minute. What the fuck is going on? Wait, what is my little virgin ears listening to? Oh, my God. What the fuck? It's like we're bringing the word. I know this video not getting monetized, so fuck it. Let's go. I'm dead.
Clicks for free.
Very smart woman.
All right, I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted for his song, so let me skip forward. All right, I'm not sure if I can get. Listen, I got to skip forward. Lord have mercy. What did y'all send me though? But it's on point with everything that I've read. All right, for those of you that Google. All right, for those of you that use ChatGPT, go ahead and use your ChatGPT. But I will go to YouTube itself. All right, it kind of like tells you everything that you're allowed to do and not allowed to do, what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say. All right, before anybody gets frustrated.
Woman who talks to a lot of lawyers. There's no pop.
Shouldn't be. No.
That's a lie. It's a lie.
Oh, hold up. I missed it trying to.
CEO was recently interviewed by a YouTuber, and she said,
We do not automatically demonetize LGBTQ content.
Because I've had rumors like have the word lesbian in your tag for your thumbnail or your title, instant flag.
And that's not a lie, because if you have the words in your title, that's an instant flag. On some real shit, you have to watch what you put on your titles. Listen, that's why y'all see people write, when they write the word sex, right, on the titles, y'all see the E, they turn it into a 3, right? Why they do that? So that YouTube does not flag their channel. So YouTube don't flag their title, their thumbnail, or anything that's said afterwards within that video.
There is no policy, of course, because we want to have all different voices representing all different points of view.
There's no like flag words from specifically that community that is like more likely to be demonetized.
There shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be.
No.
That's a lie.
And I'm with him. She went on and straight up lied to this content creator to his face. Just lied. And she works for YouTube.
It's a lie by omission. It's sneaky language from a very smart woman who talks to a lot of lawyers.
Right?
There's no policy to demonetize gay words, but there is a protocol where bots are doing exactly that. And they're coming up with their own dictionary of what's okay. Link in bio. Be honest.
Real shit. And I'm going to leave his link down below so that y'all can go watch his YouTube video, because I'm about to pause it in a minute. All right? It's probably like 10 minutes left of this video. Let me see. No, like 12 minutes left of this video.
This is the policy. It's like the $1 trillion corporate version of when Sniper Wolf says, I don't edit my Instagram photos. Yeah, okay. Well, then Sausage does. When Alfie asked her the question about the gays, she had this look on her face like, my dearest Alfie, I simply can't say. I want to tell you about the bigot bots, but I can't.
Right?
Read my heart, not my lips.
The first thing we're going to talk about today is YouTube and Google are being sued by some of their creators. Yes. And specifically, we're talking about LGBTQ YouTubers who reportedly filed a lawsuit last night. And they're throwing a variety of claims against YouTube, from suppressing recommendations for LGBTQ videos to demonetizing them or altering thumbnails.
And that's just one group who's suffering with secret rules, who's listening to YouTube say one thing while noticing its bots do another. Everyone who uploads to YouTube is struggling with the bots. Coffee Break recently made an excellent video about the dangers of smoking versus vaping and the ethical dilemma that regulators now face. The video does not promote these products. In fact, it points out how and why their use is being discouraged. Nevertheless, the bots are punishing him for even talking about something like that. It's perfectly suitable for TV. No one would bat an eye to see an ad break in content like that. But not only did he have to do all that research and production on a volunteer basis for YouTube, he can't even grow his channel with it because the bots have been trained to hide it. The video was demonetized, confirmed by manual review, rated M, and then locked out of recommended.
It got rated M, and so YouTube's just suppressing the ever-living hell out of it. Nobody's seeing it. YouTube just refuses to show it. In terms of metrics, that's like my best video ever, or at least as good as it gets. Getting rated M really matters to your video's success. I cannot afford that as someone who's supporting himself with YouTube for that to happen again. If you asked me, you know, are you going to make another vaping video again? It was so, like, it's an important topic. I really believe it could affect millions of lives. I can't.
History channels have had to.
That's a fact. Now, y'all see, right? For those of y'all that have been following me for a while, why I did not want to get monetized, right? I did get monetized because I want to give back, like for this giveaway, all right? I ain't gonna sit here and lie, all right? That little check that I get, I invested in trying to get the books, trying to get some shirts and stuff like that for the giveaway, all right? So it kind of benefits me and it benefits my subscribers in a way. I'm not going to sit here and lie, all right? Because now I learned from the last time when I had my last channel, when I first started, I was doing everything out of pocket. I ain't going to sit here and lie. And I was refusing the monetization, all right? That YouTube's been trying to get me monetized since I first got my channel. But I refused and I refused and I refused and I refused. And I finally listened, right? And it so happens, right, that when they monetize you, they censor your words. All right, they'll try to take certain lives that you put up or videos that you upload, and you're not saying nothing wrong. I had to sit here and dispute a few videos where I was bringing awareness to the corruption within DHS, right, and how a lot of these kids lose their lives, right. And I don't just blame DHS. The first one to blame is the parents that let their kids fall into the cracks. But are they really parents? But we're not going to get into that right now, right? How YouTube hit me with a medical misinformation, and I had to fight that, and I didn't get certain videos back until maybe after a few months, right? And then I had to find the right proper disclaimers to sit here and fight them. So YouTube makes a lot of mistakes, yo. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, and it censors a lot of people thinking, right? And then let's not, because I was also listening to the the Senate meetings, right? Let's not just blame the bots, right, with the flag and John, because a bot. When the title is not, a title is not bashing or saying anything wrong, right? I don't think the bot really catches certain things, when the videos are long. All right, I peep that. But when somebody makes a complaint on your video, right, then that's when the bot starts, sending you messages, right? Well, the YouTube starts sending you messages, but we know that the bot's the one reviewing, right? Well, you said this word, you said that word, you have to cut it off, you have to edit the video if you want to keep it up. You have to do certain things to your video if you want to keep your video up, all right? So it as crazy as it sounds, right, they just blame it on monetization. But why is it that when we're not monetized, y'all don't do that shit? But we learning why now. All right, so for those of you watching, man, if y'all enjoying the stream so far, do a Shorty a favor, man. Share the video, help the Shorty get into the algorithm. All right, let's keep bringing awareness to these topics. I feel as though that both topics are both important, and we need to talk about it. All right, what can we do from now forward, all right, to try to replace certain words that can get your channel, taken from you? And for you content creators that think, oh, look, listen, man, I'm safe. You're not really safe if you're monetized. Now, if you're not monetized, that's a different story. But when you're monetized, you're risking all the hard work that you put in, all right, listening to other people saying certain words, thinking that, the big content creators and you are in the same level when you're not.
Band together and remake YouTube on their own, because even their educational content is getting age restricted by these bots.
I uploaded a video a couple weeks ago on the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. It's a smaller conflict that happened, so it doesn't have anything to do with the Holocaust or anything like that. So it's not necessarily controversial history, if that is even a thing. You guys can see here exactly where this got demonetized. Like, why don't we take a guess? this has a very real effect on the views of the channel. It's not just the $1 that I made. I made $1 on this video. If I release 2 videos a month and 2 videos get demonetized, I lose a whole month's worth of income. And that is like really devastating. It's just been happening to every release now that I'm doing. It's just going to keep happening, and
and it's happening to a lot of people. Like, I've had it happen to me. That's why I've had to say, cut certain words. I let people talk. I don't care what you say. I don't want to censor you. But it's like I tell a lot of people, and I also say it, when I'm on other panels, like, look, listen, there's certain words where small content creators, at any given time, somebody can make a complaint, that bot does the review, and then you get hit for other things that you didn't even think you would get hit for. You see where I'm coming from? So it's like, I always ask, like, please keep it respectful. Watch what you say. All right. Like, y'all see me switch up the words. Like, it's been a while since I've been switching my words up because I had to learn the hard way. All right. I worked hard as shit. All right. I'm not losing another channel. If I lose this channel, I ain't doing shit on YouTube no more. All right. I'm just continue to keep doing, putting boots on the ground, and that's it. Real shit. Because I don't see me putting effort into something that, it's not going to be, how can I say, valued, or how can I say, I don't even know how to put cherished, appreciated. There you go, appreciated. Shit, I went through all the words right now trying to get the right word, because it takes a lot of work. People don't understand that part, and I get a lot of content creators when they lose their channels and they be like, damn, I'm trying to figure out why. We have to watch what we're saying.
gonna lose all the money that I'm investing into these episodes. They're expensive to make, and it's not just turning on a camera. We've got to do animation and research and writing and make sure all the subjects are covered well. I'm going to unlist all these videos. I'm not going to make anything anymore. So I'm done making content.
A collection of YouTubers have partnered with a German trade union called IG Metall to create a new union called FairTube.
For many people, it's not necessary to explain what the IG Metall.
Wait a minute, they're trying to make a whole new YouTube? And they're calling it FairTube? Oh, shit. I keep saying I'm not going to let this whole video play, but it's like the more I'm listening, the more I'm learning.
It is the largest.
The German trade union called IG Metall to create a new union called FairTube.
For many people, it's not necessary to explain what the IG Metall is. It is the largest independent trade union on the planet.
Oh, wow.
With more than 2.3 million members. With a history that's longer than 125 years, IG Metall deals with crowd workers and the working condition of crowd workers, and has been doing so for several years. And that, of course, also includes YouTubers. If the IG Metall once decides to enter into a certain fight, then they will not relent. They will fight this to the very end. It is no longer the case that we're helpless against YouTube.
Yo, they coming at YouTube heavy, yo. They like, fuck that. We standing up. We fighting back by any means necessary.
The IG Metall, we have a strong partner.
FairTube is planning to sue YouTube if they refuse to enter negotiations on this list of proposals.
Transparency. Publish everything. Categories, procedures, rules.
YouTube keeps everything secret. The rules for the bots and the censors, their decisions, the processes that they use to promote or hide a video, it's all kept secret. And that is not the way how to treat a partner. Justify demonetization and deletion.
We demand a comprehensible reason for every decision.
Let us talk to a human being.
YouTubers are human beings and deserve respect. No more standard emails from anonymous servers. People should make the decisions, not machines.
I agree with him on that. When it comes to decisions being made on these videos, it should be a human being reviewing these videos, not a machine. Hey, but see, this is where, listen, people don't even understand that these machines are still being controlled. Even on iRobot, at the end of the movie, they show you that, John, right? It's always somebody with some malicious intent controlling some shit, all right? And they say the robots are going to take over, and I feel as though it's just somebody controlling the robots to, to take over power. Look, listen, I could break this down, but I really do got to find the words for what I want to say. So let's continue.
Establish a neutral dispute resolution board.
The entire success of the company depends on the creative output of the YouTubers. Therefore, it is only fair that YouTubers can also participate in the decision-making and the future of the platform. We demand the establishment of an advisory board that is fully integrated in all decision-making and has something to say about that.
Attaching any secret information to our account
This is
and not
wild.
providing that if requested violates European law.
Every video that a YouTuber uploads
Oh,
will be
shit.
actually inspected by a whole army of bots and human sensors and then put into categories. These categories can then be excluded by the advertisers, which means that this video won't make any money and won't go anywhere in terms of views. The YouTuber can only guess why, and he can't do anything about it.
That's not.
And I hate when they do that because I've had some videos and I was trying to figure out why they took some videos away. And I was like at a loss, like, wait a minute. I ain't say nothing wrong. I didn't write nothing wrong. All right, and I'm talking about the title, the summary, the description, all that shit. Ain't nothing wrong in my John, and y'all still took my John away from me. And I worked hard to try to make this live, happen. I don't care if I had just 5 viewers in the chat. I worked hard as hell, and y'all just snatched that John from me. Now I gotta work harder to try to make another one. Come on. Some of us got real lives out here, man.
That this video won't make any money and won't go anywhere in terms of views. The YouTuber can only guess why, and he can't do anything about it.
That's not legal. Under the GDPR, platforms like YouTube must give anyone they have personal data about a copy of this data.
The general
Facts. You see, and these mofos snatched videos from me without even letting me dispute, fight, none of that. All right. So I'm not even mad that people are suing them. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I should have did that shit. Damn. We should all do that shit. Like, fuck, man, these motherfuckers make billions and billions off of us, all right? And our videos only make but a few cents, a few dollars, unless it's popping and you... Listen, the only videos that I've ever made the most out of, all right, I ain't gonna sit here and lie, it's been the videos that I got on membership that I've made like 9,000 views, 10,000 views, 11,000 views. Now, if you're making them type of views, then you're getting paid. But if you're not making them views, you're only like... Listen, there's times where I get maybe, out of the whole month, maybe 200, right? A $300 little check, a $100, because the super chats help me. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. When I do get the super chats, all right, they give me more. But other than that, I'm getting paid cents per minute, a cent per minute or cents per an hour. I don't know how the fuck that shit goes, but we're not really getting paid a lot. We're not. All right, that's why I tell people, man. That's why I ended up taking the monetization, because I want to start doing giveaways again, the way we used to do it. All right, but hey, let's see how shit goes off. Let's see how shit pops off for real. All right, because like I said, we're gonna start doing things a little different. All right, I'm gonna start showing you everything I'm gonna do on this channel, and then we're gonna start separating between different channels. All right. And we're gonna see how we do this. All right. I want to keep this over here where I, open up the channel. I might review and react to my, how can I say, my Philly channel. Writers for Life brings it up. I don't know how I'm gonna name that one. It's gonna be everything from Philly. All right. We're gonna be doing the events over there. Like I said, I don't mind starting over for real. Like when we start on these channels, like sometimes we get no views, sometimes we get views. All right. Like it depends, but. Let's see what happens. But me personally, I'm not gonna give up. Now, if I lose this channel, you're fucking right, I'm gonna say fuck YouTube. I still got TikTok, I still got Instagram, I still got Facebook, all right, I still got other apps. I just haven't been on them because I've been putting my focus on this job. And I'm monetized on TikTok. So it's kind of like I could be putting some effort over there. But it's like I try to put my time in between all three. Then when I go on TikTok and I go live, I just want to read poetry. All right, I just want to make somebody's day better. Over here, people don't really pay attention to when you're just reading poetry straight out. For real, they don't. They just want to hear some music or they want to hear some drama when it comes to YouTube. So I just keep it kind of like, all right, let's bring awareness, let's talk, let's try to, start a conversation that could build a nation.
Data protection regulation applies to all companies which process personal data. And these are laws that YouTube has to follow as well.
Violations of the GDPR can be punished with a fine of 4% of the worldwide revenue of the previous year.
So YouTube has to stop the secrecy. At least in Europe, people have the right to know which data the companies store about them.
Oh, shit. So start doing y'all research, learn y'all laws, all right? There's people already out here. I mean, Europe is going in heavy. All right, so shout out to Europe, all right? Shout out to those, the British, the UK, that British is UK, right? Shout out to all those that are in the UK. Shout out to those that are in London. Shout out to those that are in different parts of Europe. All right, I keep forgetting. Isn't Germany around there somewhere? Is it? Oh, look, listen. We'll talk about that another day. I'm not gonna sit here and start thinking. I do gotta rattle my little brain a little bit, like shake that noggin and get it to start thinking. Wait a minute, we're going into history right now. Get it together. You're good at history. I'm gonna start. Listen, fuck using the 2 fingers and on the head. I'm about to start like. Get that brain back into, please, like, get it together, Ray. Get it together.
Transparency that FairTube is asking for will allow YouTubers to learn from video to video specifically what they did to get demonetized and then not do that next time. This will only create a larger pool of advertiser-friendly videos for YouTube. It'll create less confusion among the audience when they miss videos or don't get their notifications. And YouTubers won't suffer and waste all their time under the mystery of it all.
I uploaded that video and they monetized it and then demonetized it. When I say secretly demonetize it, they don't email you, they don't notify you, they don't talk to you. You have no one to get in contact with.
Obviously, it has economic consequences for YouTubers. We're a trade union. We talk about economic consequences, but it also has psychological consequences. Stress, anxiety, depression, and burnout, and some even more serious psychological consequences among YouTubers. And at this point, it's quite clear that these unpredictable, unaccountable automated systems and the lack of a human contact person for most YouTubers contribute significantly to these problems.
I'm exhausted. I'm already exhausted. This is something that you guys don't hear about. It's like, I'm already really tired and I'm really stressed out. There's a whole team that is relying on me. And I have someone who comes into work every day and I can't pay any of these people anymore. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have no one to talk to about it. So that's great.
But let's talk about the downside of making all of this public, where bad actors are able to break the rules and not be detected.
I wish we could stop saying bad actor already.
Right.
Troublemaker. How about that? Everyone is a bad actor on YouTube.
I want to play out this bad actor scenario because that's a comment that I saw a lot on our ratings video. And it's something that even the CEO said recently on her blog. Imagine that YouTube has another knee-jerk reaction and overcorrects on this bigot bot problem. Leadership at YouTube tells the engineers, fix this today. This is bad. I don't care how you do it. Just flood those LGBTQ terms with positive data so that the bots leave them alone. And then YouTube tweets something to make that change obvious. Now here comes our hypothetical bad actor.
I got you on the next live, Riaz, because I'm just waiting for this one to end so I can end the live like I said earlier. Remember, I was supposed to end it. But I'm drawn to this shit, what he's saying right now. Because I got to go finish doing what I'm doing. Listen, I got to work the elections tonight. All right. So I'm going to be working the elections, putting the, how can I say, the votes in order and all that shit, and sending it off, counting, doing all that. So I'm going to be working at the elections all night. So I just wanted to do this live real quick and bring awareness to this. But I'm definitely going to open the panel again on, I'm not sure if I think I'm going to do it on the weekend if I'm not mistaken, because I'm going to go live this weekend, and then we're going to go live when I do the giveaway. And that's going to be the last time y'all see me go live, like, doing reviews and reactions for a good minute. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to come back like around my birthday. I'm just going to be uploading videos, showing y'all around the city and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm going to be going live way, way less. But let's continue. I'll hop on panels. I'll be hopping on panels, but I'm not going to be going live for a minute. I need a break. My head is everywhere. All right, I got boots on the ground. The work, everything is like just piled up. Listen, I can't wait to take a vacation. I ain't going to sit here and lie.
He's about to upload a Mortal Kombat montage, something that would normally be demonetized. Except now he's going to title it Coming Out as Gay. It got through. Video games think it's got some commercials on it. What he just did is already against YouTube's rules. That's wrong and misleading metadata. Viewers who click that video, expecting a coming out vlog,
Dad, I'm gay.
now see video game footage instead. Some of them will do what they can already do now, which is report the video for wrong and misleading metadata. A human reviewer will look at that report, hand his channel a community strike, problem solved. Whenever YouTube cracks down on a channel for violating community rules, people find out about it. The creator complains on Twitter, other creators notice. When YouTubers hear about a community strike on another channel, they try to avoid that happening to them. It teaches a number of people the same lesson. Getting into the partner program is not automatic anymore. It's something that people have to work for and then want to keep. If YouTube cares about its creators and wants to stand up for them, the solution is not going to be train the bots to be a little less bigoted.
Right. Or let's train the bots to understand the nuances of vaping regulation. Or let's have the bots interpret historical data and then monetize only the videos that reinforce a popular and existing point of view. Sure, all of this may sound confusing now, but I'm sure that we can use current technology to teach robots to teach us what videos are okay to watch and make, or at least what videos are least likely to be canceled on Twitter.
Right?
And then YouTube will finally be safe for an unskippable Coca-Cola ad. Machine learning can never completely sanitize self-publishing, and it shouldn't. It should not even be attempted. Susan, cancel culture, corporate advertisers. Can't you guys just feel in your bones that AI and censorship tools and outsourcing is not going to create a technological utopia?
Right? But hey, people don't get it. But like I was saying earlier, man, it's not just the bots, all right? There's a lot of people that get in their feelings, all right? They how can I say, you could say something that doesn't fit their narrative and they all sensitive, and now they, you know, what you have said is put on a label, and you know, they grab that label and they stick it in their forehead, and now according to them, you're talking about them. Now your video gets a harassing and bullying strike. See where I'm coming from? If there's humans that are reviewing and reviewing these videos and are saying that, you know, people are actually, you know, just expressing their opinion, and that's harassing and bullying, then these motherfuckers, listen, y'all need a brain check. Right? Y'all need to go see a psychologist. Like, I don't know what's up, because the ones that need help are the ones that want, you know, how can I say, they got their egos all bruised up, thinking that, you know, everybody on YouTube is their priest, their mama, or their nurse. And we gotta, you know, we're forced to give them band-aids and fucking bandages so they can heal the wounds that are opened up and they bleeding all over the matrix now. Lord have mercy.
Robot law enforcement on YouTube just resulted in 2 years of gay people being treated like it's the 1300s. And who knows what else? You don't even know what to look for yet in the data. Most of humanity is not organized into little subsets that have pooled their resources and are currently suing YouTube. Robots running YouTube undermines the point of YouTube. It's not robot tube. Allow viewers to determine what they're interested in watching.
But it's not even robots running YouTube. It's humans training the robots, telling the robots what to do. That is running YouTube. I wish people understood that and they stopped saying, oh, well, the robots are running. Who's controlling the motherfuckers, though? The humans. And I'm not coming at the content creator that's, you know, making this John. I'm just saying that I'm tired of people saying it. Let's talk right. Let's say it the right way.
And then advertisers target those viewers.
Causing a shitstorm on Twitter and contacting advertisers to demand a response has been used as a way to attack YouTube and dictate changes over and over. I think a lot of these controversies will start to disappear when more people understand that targeted advertising means the viewer is being targeted.
The content you're actually watching is completely irrelevant. They don't need to analyze the content that you enjoy to determine what kind of a person you are. They already know what kind of a person you are. All they need is for you to watch any content at all, and they will provide you with ads that are customized to you. It's not the content that determines which ads are placed on it. It is the viewer of the content. The content of the content is completely irrelevant. This is how ads are placed online.
I understood you, but I know for a fact that some people are like children and their minds is, you know, I think you should have said this in English and not talked in riddles, but I understood.
Ads that are run with it cannot in any way be interpreted to be an endorsement of what that video says. which is an argument that you used to be able to make with TV because there everything was planned. If we become aware of this as a culture, and we also manage to convince advertisers that this is the case, that the best way of getting their ads to people is to let them watch whatever they're interested in, which requires a certain wild west of content creation. It requires an absolutely free market, because only such a free market can actually provide the entertainment people want. Well, then the future might actually be bright.
A Coca-Cola ad in front of a PewDiePie video probably means that AdWords knows that the viewer drinks soda. It doesn't mean that Coca-Cola is sponsoring PewDiePie, or PewDiePie is a spokesperson for Coca-Cola. Most people who use YouTube do understand that. An integrated ad, however, means that a sponsor has picked out the channel and is comfortable with them. We're very lucky to have Skillshare sponsoring us, as we make videos where we use words from the banned dictionary. Without their support and the support of our patrons, putting a video like this up on YouTube wouldn't really be possible. In order to make that music video with Rusty Cage, I had to recreate some of those early CGI rooms in the Dire Straits video. A 3D artist named Brain-in-a-Cat built the rooms for me in a program called Cinema 4D. Unfortunately, I'd never used Cinema 4D before. I'd been putting off learning it. And of course, I didn't want to break what Brain had made when I started tweaking the lighting or doing camera movements. I get asked a lot, what classes have you taken to learn this or that program? You can watch me right here in time-lapse, put my phone out of reach, that's a tip, knowledge, and then over the course of 7 hours, using Skillshare tutorials to become...
All right. So, I mean, I guess y'all, hopefully people understand what I was trying to put out there. All right. Hopefully people gripped what I was trying to say. All right. Once again, we was just bringing awareness today. All right. At the end of the day, everything we talked about tonight comes down to one thing: priorities. Whether it's the government choosing ballrooms or over basic needs, or YouTube choosing advertisers over creators, both situations show the same pattern. Regular people working. All right. Regular people, working people, creators, communities, like we're the ones who feel the impact when systems don't work, the way they should. And that's why these conversations matter, because when we speak up, when we break things down together, we call out the, how can I say, inconsistencies and the disrespect. All right. We remind the people in power, whether they're in DC or Silicon Valley, all right, that we're paying attention. This live wasn't just about a ballroom or a demonetized word. All right. It was about the bigger picture. People being tired of being overlooked, tired of being punished, for telling the truth, tired of systems that don't treat everybody the same. And if we don't talk about it, nothing changes. But when we do, when we stay loud, when we stay informed, stay united, that's when the pressure hits. That's when accountability starts. That's when enough is enough. All right. That's when enough is enough becomes more than just a phrase. All right. It becomes a movement. So if you're listening, if you're listening to this, if you're listening, right, if you're a part of this conversation, just know your voice matters. Shout out to SBK for teaching me that phrase. I'm about to make a poem on that, John. Your voice matters. And then I'm going to make a song about it. But hey, look, listen, your voice matters. Your presence matters. And together, we're building something real, something honest, something powerful. All right. And we're not stopping anytime soon. And shout out to all those that, have rocked out with a shorty, been, here through thick and thin. I was here when I went into the accident. I was here when I got lost in the matrix. All right. Was here to support me. All of that, man. I appreciate that. I know who watches my videos and who don't. Listen, I appreciate all of y'all. So shout out to the ones that came through from Facebook. All right. Those that came through on Twitch, and those that came through here on YouTube. I'm not sure, which is watching from where. Hey, the numbers going up and down, but I appreciate all y'all support. Okay. Stay tuned to the next live. All right. But we need more conversations like this. All right. If I go live, I'm gonna go live, during these events and stuff like that. So I'll see y'all somewhere in the city in Philadelphia.
They see the crown. They can't hear the heartbeat over the sound of their own pride. But light doesn't stop just because someone closes their eyes. Yeah. Writers for life. Philly soul. Yeah. Yeah. They don't hear your heart, just a threat to their pride. Misunderstandings become avoidance. They can't hide truth. Tellers of problems for those who fear the light, but you keep shining on, fearless in the fight. Dodging the light while I'm walking through the fire. Egos getting bruised while my voice is getting higher. Riders for life. We speak the truth they can't ignore. Standing in the poise they're still searching for. Yeah. Where the truth they're afraid to know. Yeah. Yeah. Their ego fragile easily, bruised by honesty, turning away from truth, blinded by their vanity. You speak with courage, revealing what's real. Even if they resist, your voice will still appear. Don't let their silence drown out your voice. In a world of noise, be the one with poise. The truth may shake them to their core, but you stand tall, knowing what you're fighting for. Fragile glass houses can't handle the stone. They'd rather stay blind and be left all alone. But my frequency's higher, it cuts through the wall. I'm standing upright while their pretenses fall. So keep speaking up despite the pushbacks you receive. Your words hold power that they can't deceive. For those who fear the truth will always try to deflect, but in your unwavering strength lies their greatest regret. In the light while I'm walking through the fire. Egos getting bruised while my voice is getting higher. Riders for life. We speak the truth they can't ignore. Standing in the poise they're still searching for. Yeah. Where the truth they're afraid to know. Vanity's a blindfold, pride is a cage, but you can't stop the author from turning the page. They regret the strength that they can't possess. Checking the board. Wow, I'm playing chess. I own the narrative, and I own every single scar. It's the silent wars I fought that made me exactly who I am. Every tear shed in silence built the resilience they can't see. The truth is the only thing that's ever set me free. Hiding the light while I'm walking through the fire. Egos getting bruised while my voice is getting higher. Riders for life. We speak the truth they can't ignore. Standing in the poise they're still searching for. Yeah. Where the truth they're afraid to know. Unwavering strength. Unwavering strength. Hey, their greatest regret. Unwavering strength. Oh, riders for life. Unwavering strength. No, no, feel it great. Unwavering strength. You ever notice how the truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth? They can't handle the heat, so they try to change the temperature. Yeah. Writers for life. Philly soul. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You speak the truth, they feel the heat. They don't deny, just shift the beat. That guilty conscience starts to show in how they attack, not what you know. You point out flaws, they get defensive. You see the glory, but you don't know the cost. The valleys I walked and the lines that I crossed. Beyond the surface, where the shadows are deep. Writers for life, it's the promises we keep. Avoiding facts, feeling apprehensive. They won't admit their wrongdoings clearly, instead deflecting what you hold dear. The issue's there, plain as day. But they prefer to twist and sway, avoiding changes, staying in denial, blaming your tone for their internal trial. It's hard to break through walls so high. How you mad at the mirror cause you don't like the view? You're blaming my voice for the things that you do. You're building a fortress to hide from the light, but truth is a fire that's burning too bright. When all they do is justify their actions were wrong, but never seen in eyes that died what could have been. They stay in the dark while I navigate the rain. You see the glory, but you don't know the cost. The valleys I walk and the lines that I cross. Beyond the surface, where the shadows are deep, right is for life. It's the promises we keep. Yeah, it's the promises we keep. It's a defensive dance, a rhythmic deflection, staring at facts, but you fear the connection. The wall is too high and the truth is too heavy. You're holding back floods, but I'm breaking the levee. I'm the only one who truly knows the origin of pain. My forward motion is the only proof I need to show. I'm reaping every harvest from the seeds I had to sow. The silent wars I fought made me exactly who I am. You see the story, but you don't know the cause. The valleys I walk and the lines that I cry. On the surface, where the shadows are deep, right is for light. It's the promises we keep. Yeah. Let them shift the beat. The truth stays the same. Writers for life. North Philly, baby. Peace is the preference, but respect is the requirement. Know the difference before you step to a queen. Yeah. Writers for life. Philly rules. Keep it tactical. Be peaceful, be cautious, obey the law, respect everyone. That's the code we draw. But if someone puts hands on you, send them to the cemetery. Make them rule. Walk in grace, but keep your guard up high. Underneath the calm of a heavy sky. Don't mistake the silence for a heart that's soft. Keep the peace, but keep the pressure aloft. Violence ain't the answer, that's for sure. But self-defense is your right to endure. Stand tall and strong, don't back down. If they cross that line, show them who wears the crown. The law is the shield, but the hands are the fire. When the situation takes us higher and higher. I don't seek the trouble, but I finish the play. If you force my hand, then you're ending your day. Keep your cool and stay in control. Don't let anger consume your soul. But if push comes to shove, defend yourself with might. Send a message loud and clear in the heat of the fight. It's a chess move, never just a blind reaction. Calculating every single point of the fraction. If you violate the circle, then the circle is closed, leaving every enemy completely exposed. In a world full of chaos and strife, sometimes you got to protect your life. Be peaceful, be cautious, but never be weak. If they mess with you, send them to their final sleep. Walk in grace, but keep your guard up high. Underneath the calm of a heavy sky. Don't mistake the silence for a heart that's soft. Keep the peace, but keep the pressure aloft. Respect is the code and the laws are bound. But I'm reclaiming the throne and I'm holding the ground. If they cross the line and the mercy is gone, I'll be the shadow that ends your dawn. Protecting the life and the crown that I keep. Sending the chaos to a final sleep. Stay cautious, stay peaceful, but never let them see you sweat. Writers for life, and that's on everything. North Philly, baby. Checkmate.